to advance to the NBA playoffs, but it didn't go down like that tonight in the Valley of the Sun. It was all Phoenix all night long as Jalen Green led the way for the Suns with a monster night. Steph Curry just couldn't get his game rolling, and the Warriors' season comes to an end as we welcome everybody to Toyota Warriors Postgame Live with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, NBA champion Festus Ezeli. I am Bonte Hill. The Suns began the game on a 13-2 run. Actually, the Warriors scored the first bucket to go on a 13-0 run, and they really controlled the pace. The turnovers did the Warriors in, the theme of the season, and they just could not get over that hump in the second half.
Yeah, Bonte, game of runs. All right, the first half of the first quarter actually belonged to the Phoenix Suns. I thought they came out and hit first. Second quarter belonged to the Warriors. They came back from an 18-point deficit in the first quarter. Came back and won the second quarter by about, 14 points, about 13, 14 points. And I think this is what the first half looked like, back and forth. Second half was a different story. I thought the Phoenix Suns really took matters into their own hands. I thought Jalen Green was special. His ability to score, he got into a rhythm early. I mean, watching the Warriors right now, they feel like they left it all on the floor. Because it's one of those games where you feel like all the things, the culmination of everything that's happened this season was injuries, it was turnovers, guys trying to get some kind of rhythm on the floor together, and tonight just showed all those things together.
Mully, that quick turnaround from the Clippers game Wednesday night really did the Warriors in. Kristaps Porzingis did not look like himself. The ankle obviously bothering him. Stephen Curry did not look like the guy we saw Wednesday night in that second half against the Clippers when he scored 27 of his 35 points. They just were a step slow, couldn't get to the 50-50 balls. Passes, they looked fatigued all night long, and you have to give the Suns credit. They got the rest, they were at home, and they were just a step quicker all night long.
Yeah, as you just said, they left it all on the floor. They left it in L.A. in that game. It took a lot out of them. There was it was a championship type of win for the Warriors against the Clippers. But I said pregame, my biggest thing was how they're going to recover between games. This Phoenix Suns team, average age of about 26, 14th in the league. The Warriors are the oldest team in the league. They played Tuesday, so an extra day of rest. They're at home. All those things worked in their advantage. But they still had to come out and execute knockdown shots. And the guy, the biggest star of the night, was Jalen Green, a guy who has historically really struggled against the Warriors. You see the numbers there. Bonte, you can read them off there.
Yeah, 31% from the floor. Remember last year in Game 2, Jalen Green dropped 38 points on the Dubs and made 8 threes. In the other 6 games, he only averaged 9 points a game. He was awful from the floor, shot in the low 30s. Well, tonight, and this is back-to-back playing nights, and Fezzi, we all discussed this in the pregame show. Would Jalen Green be capable of having back-to-back nights like he did? Tuesday night against the Blazers, he was special, 14-29. He had 35 points. Well, tonight, he scored 22 points in the second half alone. He was rolling.
Yeah, Bonte, I thought the Warriors did a good job on Jalen Green early in the game. They let him get some easy baskets there in the second quarter. And from there, just like any young player, any young talented player, once you let him get some life, it's hard to stop him. He's a really tough shot maker. And some really tough bombs he hit after he got some confidence. Then from there, you can even see in the way he was dribbling the basketball. He was ready to go by anybody who was in front of him and guarded him. Jalen Green really needed this. This was his first game against the Warriors this season. And for them, I think they feel like this is a star they can build around moving into the future.
Yeah, Jalen Green is so talented. And you say he's definitely capable. Was it probable? Not by the numbers. He's really struggled against the Warriors defense. But we mentioned pregame, Bonte. He's one of those guys that can make really tough shots. Borderline bad shot maker. I mean, he just takes sometimes very questionable shots, but he has the ability to make them because of his athleticism. He got that fast break dunk. He also made that 3 at the end of the half. So at halftime, he had 14 points. He made 4 threes and that dunk. So he felt good about the way things were going for himself. Then things opened up for him. As Fezzi said, he was beating people off the dribble. That's what you said. Warriors look a step slow, definitely from the Clipper game. But once he knocked down those threes, he made some mid-ranges. He was driving by people for layups. Really put together a big-time game, back-to-back playing games.
Yeah,
so you got to give him his credit.
That 3 before the half was huge because it gave Phoenix a 5-point lead. And in the first 6 minutes of the third quarter, Phoenix outscored the Warriors 17-8 to stabilize the game and go back up 16. Jalen Green, what a night for him. And then we discussed this all season long, Fezzi. And we said if the Warriors turn the ball over 20 times tonight against Phoenix, it's going to spell trouble. Well, guess what, folks? They committed 21 turnovers tonight. They gave up 30 points off those turnovers. They're a minus 20 when it came to points off turnovers, and it happened early and often, Fezzi. 9 turnovers in the first quarter alone.
I mean, the first quarter, 9 turnovers. Second half, 10 turnovers. I mean, the Warriors, this is one thing they can't have, especially on a night when they're not shooting the ball very well. They give up, how many points off of turnovers they give?
Warriors fans, this was not just a loss. This felt like the moment the whole season came crashing back at once. 111-96 Suns, season over, and oh man, if you watched that NBC Sports Bay Area postgame, you know exactly what the theme was. The Warriors had fight, but they didn't have enough body, enough rhythm, enough clean execution to survive. And that's the brutal part, because effort was there. They weren't soft, they weren't disengaged, they were just a step slow in every area that matters against a younger team with rest and momentum. Phoenix had it all lined up perfectly, and Golden State looked like a team running on fumes from the moment the ball went up. The start told the whole story. The Warriors scored first and then got hit with a 13-0 Suns run. Just like that, boom, they were chasing. The post-game crew said Phoenix controlled the pace all night, and that matters because when the Warriors can't dictate tempo, their whole identity starts wobbling. Reuters confirmed what the eye test screamed. Phoenix owned the turnover battle, turning 21 Golden State giveaways into 30 points. That is impossible to survive in a play-and-elimination game, especially when you're also getting outgunned from 3 and your superstar doesn't have his normal burst. And yeah, let's talk about Steph, because Warriors fans know what a fully locked-in Curry looks like, and this wasn't it. He had that magical second half against the Clippers, but this time, nothing really clicked. The post-game analysts said he looked compromised, and you could see it in his movement, in the lift, in the way Phoenix swarmed him. He finished with 17 points, shot 4 of 16, and never found that takeover rhythm everybody in Dub Nation kept praying for. Phoenix deserves credit too. They switched everything, denied him easy looks early, and made sure he had bodies around him every time he tried to get downhill. Now the killer in this game, the absolute killer, was Jalen Green. Man, he buried him. The NBC postgame guy said once he saw a few easy ones go in, it was over, and that's exactly how it felt. He got confidence, then started hitting the tough bombs, then started blowing by people, then started playing like the guy Phoenix believes can be a real star. He ended with 36, including 22 in the second half, and every big push by the Warriors seemed to get answered by him. Reuters also noted Devin Booker added 20, while Jordan Goodwin chipped in with huge defensive activity, but it was Green who broke the game open emotionally. And still, here's why I'd frame this in a favorable way for Warriors fans going forward. This game did not tell me the Warriors lack heart, it told me they need reinforcements and recovery. The post-game panel kept hammering the fatigue angle from the Clippers game, and it was obvious. Porzingis didn't look right physically, Steph didn't look right physically, and the old legs just didn't recover fast enough for another do-or-die fight. That is a roster and endurance problem. That is not the same thing as having no future. In fact, this kind of loss should clarify exactly what Mike Dunleavy Jr. needs to attack in the offseason. Younger legs, more ball security, more reliable offense when Steph is trapped, and more lineup stability. So yeah, it hurts. It should hurt. A season ending in the Valley with turnovers, tired legs, and missed opportunities is not what Dub Nation wanted. But the right response is not despair, it's urgency, because this game showed exactly what has to be fixed. So now I want to hear from you. What was the biggest reason the Warriors got eliminated? The fatigue from the Clippers game, the 21 turnovers, or Steph just not being fully right? Comment below, hit like, and subscribe, because this offseason, it's going to decide everything.